Today, October 14th, 2025. It's 9:02. I'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. And our first item is to review action regarding approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 2, public comment. Anybody online or? Hearing none, we'll move on to number 3, review action regarding approval of the September 30th, 2025 canvas and October 7th, 2025 minutes. Anything?
So the review, both of those, I didn't see any issues. Well, I had sent you some.
Back to you.
Yeah, so when she resent it,
Okay.
I looked at those. But did you make changes for that?
Yeah, I already sent them back to you with the changes.
Okay,
I would move the approval. Okay, Frank, I do.
second.
Second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Review and action regarding approval of the claims.
I have reviewed the claims also. I didn't have any
I didn't see anything
issues
that
with anything.
stuck out on mine, so.
I
Frank?
got one that was Iowa Association of Municipal. I wondered if that just cuts off part of the name on the claim. Or it was paid, I think it was through county engineer maybe, and it was Iowa Association of Municipal. But I wonder if it's supposed to be municipalities or sort of some training. That'd be, I don't know. It maybe just cuts it off on the next line in the claim run and might be why it's not there. It seems incomplete, but it's not an issue with the amount or anything. So I'd make a motion, we approve the claims unless anybody else has any issues.
Second. Second. Any more discussions? None. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, updates regarding various boards, commissions, and activities since the last meeting. Who wants to go first?
I do.
Okay.
I went to the Trail City Main Street meeting that had it at the Old Citizens Bank ADC building, and it was pretty interesting. First time I'd been there, of course, and so I learned some of the things that they're doing and the way they operate more than anything, and who's all involved, and so that was good. So I'm looking forward to Friday. There's another meeting that I have to go to, so.
The same group. Right.
Well, it's actually the chamber.
Okay. Morgan?
Yeah, I had a few meetings. Jason Webster's here. They rode down with Jason Webster to a pipeline safety program meeting down in Clarksville. Very interesting, I thought, for me on pipeline responses to emergencies, that type of thing. I also attended Jason's suspicious mail training yesterday, and I also had a foster grandparent meeting last week.
Who put on the safety meeting for the pipeline?
Actually, I brought this for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Good information to have.
Basically a consulting firm called Paradigm
Paradigm.
that organizes all of the required annual awareness meetings for the pipelines, brings them all together basically into one convenient date and time for everyone to come together.
Okay.
It's good. There's only one other board of supervisor there, but it wasn't a huge crowd, but nice, manageable group.
Yep.
I had a landfill meeting, and they just keep doing pretty well. And So everything's good there. And, that's what I got to put it there. So anyway, they've got a new machine coming, a compactor, almost $1 million, but, they're, they make money.
They do well.
They do well. They do well.
Got to keep a lot of money back for their, closure fund, but.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Okay. Number 6, review action regarding authorization for community foundation grant.
Morning.
Good morning.
First off, welcome, Frank. Nice to have you back. The Floyd County Community Foundation grant is open. Closing is actually tomorrow. The sheriff's office is currently applying for $10,000 to go towards new mobile data terminal laptop computers. Larry's been involved with this and me in the past, both for cameras and stuff. Long story short, Windows 11 is messing with all our computers. These computers are gonna be inoperable within the next couple months. We have more grants out there we're trying to get left and right. Another option up here is to discuss some other financial options, but we'd like to be able to ask for your approval to submit that grant to the community foundation. I think they award up to 10. I think they can go less than that, but that would obviously be something that we would use towards that
So
project.
this would be an application from the sheriff's department.
Yes, but it goes through the county.
You can only have one account person on there, or unless you set up your own account, but it's always been Board of Supervisors account, so I always did it for the Board of Supervisors. I don't know if Morgan's doing it for you. Yeah.
What do you estimate the total cost will be to replace all?
For all new computers, not factoring in a warranty, the total cost is $64,000.
And these are things that surprised to us, or did we know at budget time that they were going to be, something we had to deal with?
Yeah, the computers, and I'll get to the cameras too. The computers were bought back in 2018. We knew that the lifespan on these was about 8-9 years. I don't think we knew that Windows 11 was gonna shut everything down. Years past, you've been able to go from Windows 9 to 10 and update current computers. With Windows 11, there's a lot of compatibility issues, so a lot of computers. We've had to replace all the desktops in the sheriff's office as well, and I think throughout the courthouse. Ernie's been changing a lot of computers to update to Windows 11, so we knew that. This computer in and of itself, which I'll explain more later, has lasted a lot longer in the past than some of the newer model of computers. So we like this brand, we like this model, and like I said, I can go into detail a little bit more with that. But it's Windows 11 that's basically rendering it
So on the
useless.
grant, you're just doing the laptops, then you're not doing cameras, or is it, is that your grant for?
The grant is just for the laptops, because like I said, we maybe got a month or two left, and then we're gonna lose that, and that's kind of the priority right now is to get that. And then we're working on the cameras.
So the 64,000 is just the laptops, but in our agenda packet, all that extra stuff that we have is for the agenda item with the tower project money, has cameras and
Yeah,
lots of other
and
stuff.
computers too. 64 covers the computers and the docking station, which is actually a bracket that fits in our car. We're able to use a lot of the stuff that we already have in our car, so we don't have to pay for labor, we don't have to pay for the actual mount, it's just the dock that holds it. We get to keep all our scanners and printers, so that is actually gonna save us around, I think, $26,000 by being able to use some of the same stuff.
In the laptops, was it laptops or was it the cameras that we applied for the grant originally?
I think last
Foundation.
time we did the cameras.
Cameras.
We kind of had both back in 2018. I think the board at that time approved like a couple of computers and a couple of cameras 1 year. The next year they did the same, and then we were able to buy some out of budget and had some grant money to get a couple things.
Frank, are you going towards, that we're why this wasn't budgeted? Where are you going with what your question?
Yeah, that was my question, I guess. I mean, at least I knew, and I know a lot, most people knew that Windows 11 was gonna require new equipment, and I wonder if that was part of the discussion and budget hearing.
Remember if Rick put any, or Jeff put anything in the budget for updates on those or not? I can't recall.
So it's, it appears that it's kind of a surprise.
The desktops were, these were a surprise, that we've been going back and forth with Bernie about that.
So would you entertain a motion to approve going ahead with this?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I have a motion.
I have a motion.
Second, or did you make a motion? No.
Yeah.
Second.
Second. Okay. Any more discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Okay, update on the tower project.
Yeah, so, I'm sure you're familiar, we did this bond to get a new radio system throughout the county.
I'm somewhat familiar.
Okay. We redid the local tower here in Charles City, and then we built a new tower over by the Rockford Fossil Park. And then all fire, law enforcement, EMS, EMA, all got brand new radios, part of the statewide system. And that went fully operational probably November through February of this year. So far, there've been no problems with the radios. Everything's been working great. There's still a couple of kinks that we're working out on the paging system. Allison down in Butler County is building a new tower, which is gonna be operational here in the next month or two, which we can feed off of that, so that will help provide even better coverage for down by the Green Marble Rock area. Just recently, Jason and I have been helping install Sears radios, which is our school emergency alert radio. It's a radio that's in every school in the event of a high incident, critical incident emergency. They can push a button and all law enforcement radios will go off with that signal and alert, as well as dispatch alerting them that there's an emergency at that school. The state provided all those radios, free to every school. The schools just had to pay their own installation. And Jason and I have been training them and helping them get on the system, and it's going really smooth.
Would that be all schools in Floyd County? I mean, included? Do they have the same thing like at Rockford or, North Springs?
Yeah, every school
Every school.
in Floyd County's got a radio, including the Gospel Lighthouse.
Okay,
And I want to say almost every school in Iowa is on that system. And there was that incident in Perry last year, and that radio was actually the first thing that alerted law enforcement that there was an emergency there by over almost 30 seconds. So that's a huge tool, and we're glad to have it here. It's just part of the growing network of this. They're also working on ambulances, tow trucks, and school buses joining this system too. But fire departments have had a few major fires where they brought in all the departments and they've switched to our new channels, and everybody's been able to communicate fairly well, I think. The more you use it, the more it's gonna become more comfortable for them. But
When Gloria was with me going down to Clarksville the other night, I made sure that when there was some radio traffic that came across my radio, I turned it up and I said, "Can you hear how clear this signal is and how nice this is?" We're clear down, in Butler County, so
really?
just a testament of how awesome the system is.
Oh, that's good to hear. That everything works.
Yeah.
so it's working good, so we'll just keep all that, where we're at. So.
So when, okay,
so
anything more on that?
looks like Morgan's got in your agenda packet on page 7 and 8, what's been spent on the tower project and what the fund balance is currently $506,756.44. And, the intent is to have the bond proceeds spent within 3 years. So we're approaching that 3-year mark. Which that kind of gets into the next agenda item. Was there anything you wanted to add to those documents you provided?
Want something on it?
No, I didn't know.
You're up to date.
I don't know if you saw the spreadsheet on page 7.
Yeah, so the the spreadsheet for what has been spent out of the bond money would probably be the first one. I don't have it full. And then the second one, is the fund balance. You'll see there's some handwriting on the fund balance that just, needed to take out the payments that were made in this fiscal year, to make it make sense. Just because we were in between, month ends.
Just,
Yeah. There you go. That's a spreadsheet that
yeah,
knows what's been spent.
thank you.
And the next page has the fund balance. We amended this budget in beginning of the year so we could pay some of those, one of the large bills for Motorola, because we had planned on spending all the bond proceeds last fiscal year. So we amended 720,000, and that included an estimate of interest that we might get on there. And that's just an estimate, but our goal is to spend all this money this fiscal year.
Oh, how much did we receive on interest on that? What was that? I don't read this year, but
I think the interest is on those reports. You just have that.
Yeah.
I think the bond proceeds were something like, well, maybe on here. The bond proceeds were. You got another time on the spreadsheet.
oh, well, I just,
I want to say
Curious.
500,000, around 500,000, 5.1 million, 5.1.
What's left in there?
No, what originally was there.
Oh.
So if you're wanting to know how much interest there was,
5.1 minus
yeah.
their cost of doing the bond.
We've
okay,
spent year to date 4.8 million.
Yeah, for 822,000,
yeah,
144.
Got that. okay. Any further, I don't think it takes any, action, right?
The update part doesn't, but kind of 8, 7, and 8 kind of go together.
Yeah, they do,
Yeah.
okay. Discussion of the remaining, on 8, discussion on remaining tower bond funds in regard to the sheriff's department equipment, including the laptops, body, in-car cameras, and tornado sirens.
If you want to
I do have some questions.
mention,
Pardon?
I do have a question on that
Okay.
one. I think number 8 should be discussed at a 911 board meeting. A
That's what I was
911
gonna say
meeting
as
before
well.
we bring it to you guys. This is not, we have not discussed this at all in a 911 meeting. And then they can bring it to the board here. Our meeting is in November. And I think this is what we should be discussing before it comes to you guys.
so I went back and
Sorry.
pulled the minutes from that, when we were going through this process, and I remember asking a question of Heidi Kuhl from Northland Securities about if we have, you know, you've got this interest that you don't know what it's going to be, and so I had asked the question about, that time we were talking about ambulance services, if we were going to do a municipal ambulance service was a topic as well, or you know, cost for ambulance services.
That's some
And-
time ago then.
23, yep. Yep, it was actually, that was on July 17th, 2023. And one of the things, and I'm not opposed to both, funding both, some of the sheriff stuff and maintenance, the maintenance contract that Jen is talking about. In that contract was over $1 million for 6 years of maintenance. And the intent was we could use some of that money to cover some of those that whatever they decide to do with that maintenance cost. And I think Ben Chatfield was gonna work on that and see if do we need the maintenance that they're suggesting in their contract? But there were some caveats to that being, with that maintenance package, you got a bundled discount as well. And so we need to kind of look at, how we're gonna do that maintenance part of it as well. And I think you, I don't remember if you had that in there or in the packet, Morgan. But the one part of the minutes I was just gonna read is, discussion also included Northland Securities Commission, payment of bonds, bonding costs, tax exempt on 10 versus 12-year bonds, statutory debt limit, Standard & Poor's interview tomorrow, and holding hearings for using unspent bond proceeds up to $100,000 per project for items such as ambulance services or maintenance contracts, as long as funds are spent within 3 years of issuance. So that was the part that it might not hurt to do a call with Heidi from Northland Securities to see, since we're working on using this money up, do these qualify then for
got
having
it.
to hold a hearing?
Yeah, I got some information.
You did, you talked to Heidi?
So, again, this wasn't a make a decision now, this was just bring it to your attention so we can start those conversations. My recollection of the 911 meetings, as well as talking to a few people on there, was that 911 is covering the maintenance agreement. That was discussed, back then when this bond started. We are, Jason, John, Ben, and I have all been working, with the Motorola reps, and yes, the original maintenance was like 1.2 million. We're hoping to get that down to almost half, because there's a lot of stuff that we just don't need. But we're looking at 6, 7, maybe $800,000 is all for the maintenance agreement. We have a meeting coming up here shortly on that. Bounce back to the leftover bond. I talked to Heidi a couple weeks ago. I did not know about this hearing type thing, but I asked her what is covered under that, and she assured me that it covers anything it was considered an emergency service, which she said the computers and the cameras would qualify
Yeah.
as emergency services, so that money could be used, and it has to be used by June 30th of this coming, or next year, this fiscal year, which we're in.
Oh, tell me.
Would you please, mute your phone?
His voice in.
Um,
And I did pull the code section that's in the resolutions as well. And Travis is spot on with what he's saying. The code section is 331-441 2B17. And it's as used in this part unless context otherwise requires essential county purpose, meaning any of the following, and the specific section 17 is peace officer communication equipment and other emergency services, communication equipment and systems. So both the maintenance that Jen's talking about and this are part of it. It's just, do we have to have a hearing is the only part that I didn't
And that
know.
I don't know.
And how do you want to spend it? And I will say, I'm kind of concerned about the 911 side as well, because the state legislators cut, starting fiscal year 27,
Right.
they are cutting the 911 funds
And
to
right
go
now-
towards a state project.
And right now, it's as estimated as, right now is $27,000 that we will not be getting.
So it's not huge, but
It is
911
not,
has
but it's not.
tons of
but-
new expenses that they haven't had before
Yeah.
with the
like
tower
it's-
project.
So the surcharge money that we normally get is a lot. It's gonna, I mean, it's like, I think it's like 60 to 70,000 a year that we get, and that's gonna drop down to 27. It's gonna drop
So it's
down.
gonna drop down to 27, or they're taking 27,000 away?
27,000 less.
Left,
Left.
less.
less.
Okay,
So it's not huge, it's just that
It's-
911 has a lot more expenses than
yeah,
they.
right.
And that maintenance, and that's where if this maintenance, if we're gonna do our maintenance, we've really gotta watch our spending with 911, and we've also gotta watch, because I mean, it's a huge job to our funding, and, you know, so if that maintenance, that's gonna take, I mean, even if we drop it down to $500,000, it's still, again, that's gonna take a big chunk out of 911. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Travis, about this stuff for the equipment and stuff. It's just that we just need to have, I think it needs to be brought up at a 911 meeting and then bring back here and say, okay, this is what we all discussed. We think it's great. Let's go on. I think that's my biggest thing on that is that it should be
So
discussed.
you're saying that this, when you have the 911 meeting, you will amongst yourselves decide how to divvy up the
What-
proceeds
No,
and then come to us?
yeah, they don't get to decide how our bond proceeds are used.
But the,
But the understanding was they'll have maintenance stuff and our bond proceeds could go for that. And I don't remember if Morgan, you had that part of that in the packet.
If I could just add one thing too, real quick. We're not asking to take all of this money. Okay, the 64,000 for the computers, like I said, that's kind of we need those sooner than later. If we are fortunate enough to get the community grant, that's $10,000 left. We'll be asking for about 52,000 of the bond. As far as the camera stuff, which you saw, I can go into that further detail, but that was a 10-year contract for $422,000. Compared to where we are now, our current camera system was $130,000, one and done. And we've had to replace some of those. That company is in the midst of legal action. They might not even be around. We can't get any of those parts anymore. If we have to replace a camera, it's $5,000 to replace this. With this new camera company, it's 10 years. We get updated body cameras every 2.5 years and get brand new in-car cameras every 5 years. So we'd be essentially replacing the body or the cameras every 2 to 5 years. 24/7 maintenance, full warranty for that 10 years, whether we pay it all on day one or we break it up over 10 years. We would just be asking to help offset the county's budget by asking up to a certain amount, whatever's feasible for everybody from that bond money to go down right off the bat. Then that would break our rest of the 10-year payments down by that. 911 will not pay for cameras or computers. That money can't be touched. So and essentially, the theory was if 911 is gonna help pay the maintenance, well, then we can take some of that bond money, which can be used for stuff like this. Because we all know, I'm not stupid, we all know the county's not gonna give us $500,000 in the sheriff's budget next year to get all this stuff.
Right.
I know that. Even if we do the 10 years, we're still asking for approximately $45,000 a year for the next 10 years added to the sheriff's budget.
Right.
This is kind of let's decrease that by taking whatever bond money we can. We're still gonna have, $200,000-$300,000 left of bond money, which can go towards 911 or another project to help offset those costs. So that's kind of the theory and the reason we were looking at, so.
And I think at this point, the municipal ambulance service is off the table that we talked about a couple of years ago. But I can't remember if that talk was it could go towards what we pay for a contract with AMR either that could be used for this. Yeah, but I think we just gotta figure that out in the budget. And so tell me what you said again then about, like, if we did a 10-year, every year you pay so much. If we took like years 1 and year 2 and paid with this,
Well,
we could do that because of cameras?
No, the cameras say it's $422,000 for 10 years. So breaks out to like $42,000
Yeah.
a year. If we were to say hypothetically throw down $200,000 today, then there's only $222,000 left. That divided over the next 9 years would only be $22,000 a year. Well, the sheriff's budget would only have to come up with $22,000 a year. And then if we get grant, which we're gonna continue to apply for grants every year, hypothetically, just for the scenario, next year we apply for $10,000 for the community grant. That year, we would only have to ask for $10,000 in the sheriff's budget because 10 would be offset.
my question, you said that we could pay this all at once for the 10 years for 42,000 per year.
Right.
Broken down, would there be any savings to pay it all at once and over this, or how much of this is interest?
There is no interest on that.
Well, they just
4.2 is
allow you to do,
That
okay.
interest free.
requires- There were, that
Yeah.
requires another hearing because you're
Right.
incurring debt
Yeah.
when you have interest on.
That one
things,
is
so.
interest free, and whether we pay it on day one over the 10 years, That is a contract, so all the parameters,
regardless.
all the warranties, everything is there, whether you pay it day one or you don't pay it till the last year. But that one is interest free.
So
So how
basically,
much is
whatever
that
we would
over
say.
what we were paying again, refresh, how much were we paying for this? And now, I mean, this is another
It was a
400,000?
one
Right now, we're
time,
not paying anything on it. That was a one and done.
probably have
that
some
we did.
maintenance or, is there maintenance contract or something, or service
We,
or software or something maybe?
yeah, we get the software, which is downloaded on our computer, so we get free service when we call them and ask them. But any equipment we have to get replaced or fixed, we have to pay. Everything is out of warranty. Parts aren't even available. We were able to buy last year a couple extra cameras just to have them, which we've already used them all up. We have 2 in-car cameras that are having problems. Again, they can't be fixed, they can't be replaced. We have to change to a whole new system. But then there's the issue of, are they even gonna be around? Everything now is going from a computer-based to cloud-based. So this new company wants $50,000 a year to store video data in the cloud. This Axon company,
The one we have now? or-
the one we have now, the one we're going to, is unlimited. That charge is all in there. It's like $10,000 a year. That new company is one of the standards, but yet it's not the most expensive. And actually our tasers are made by the same company, so there's compatibility that these tasers can get updated with cameras. So when you pull the taser out, it would actually turn on all your cameras and vice versa. With the new computers, they can sync together, so all that video footage can be viewed on your computer. You can email it to the county attorney right there on the spot. With technology, we know there's a lot of new stuff.
Always new stuff.
It's always new.
Howard County's been using digital audio like we have for years. They actually were in the same boat with warranties, cameras just not being able to replace them. So they upfitted all with all new digital alley. They've had nothing but issues with service with digital alley. Their new car cameras, they've had nothing but problems with. They actually sent one in. They've been waiting somewhere between 4 and 6 months now to get that camera back. So they're actually missing a camera that they bought, but they haven't been. So they actually canceled their contract with Digital Alley and just switched over to Axon right within the last couple months. They're in the process of getting theirs all updated and in service through Axon.
I like the idea of having that 10-year option because that's a lot of money to put in a one time like we did in the past. And I don't remember what the circumstances were at that time that we did it all in at one time thing, just because of a matter of need or the only option maybe.
And we can pay
Right.
anytime. So say hypothetically, 2 years into it, we get a $50,000 grant. We can put that towards that and then they'll recalculate the yearly cost from 22 hypothetically down to 9. And we can keep doing that. We've been rejected on a couple grants already, but I think we're working on 5 right now. To help offset this every year.
My only question one question that I have, probably not my only one, but my one question that I have is since we have an IT person, have we tapped Bernie into any of this? And does this seem like a better option? Because I know he was implemental in getting this set up in the vehicles at the time.
He had the software download. He helped with that. The computers, I reached out to Bernie, he checked with his vendor, because these are law enforcement models with the CGIS, the security, the NCIC and stuff like that. They have to be purchased through an authorized dealer, and Bernie was not able to get what we need for law enforcement for that. On another note too, we have T-Mobile for our cell phones, and we're looking at switching to T-Mobile with these new computers, and that would be a cost savings for the county as well, because it's a bundle package. But these computers were not compatible with the T-Mobile signal back then, whereas now everything's new and up to date, so. But yeah, I did reach out to Bernie on these. We couldn't get anything any cheaper through
And
his vendors.
So that this, for me, the extra cost per year from what we've had to where we're going is how much, yeah, I mean, is it?
Well, we're going from $130,000 one time to
Okay,
422,000 over 10 years. So if you take that 130, take that times 2 to replace it in 5 years, that's 260. Replace that at year 10, that's 390. We're in that same ballpark, but with this company, we currently have I call like at 8 o'clock if we have an issue. I might get a call in 10 minutes. I might get a call in 6 hours. You just sit and wait and wait and wait. And it used to be you talk to a human, now you get a prompt, have to go through all this stuff. And again, we wait and wait. And it's not 24/7. And then, like I said, our warranties expire within a year. Whereas with the new company, it's 10-year warranty.
And outside
That
of,
contract.
and then outside of whatever we would say, if we would say whatever amount come out of these bond proceeds, the 42,000 is just gonna have to be something that's manageable for the remainder of the years
That's
in
my,
the sheriff's budget.
You know, originally I was thinking 250, even $50,000. I mean, anything to help bring that
yeah,
yearly cost down. And like I said, we substitute that with grants, hopefully.
and I guess that's was the crux of my question was how that's gonna affect the
Yeah.
budget as we go.
In the long run, the new system is cheaper.
Yeah.
And we
You
get
see,
better coverage, better maintenance and better equipment because here we don't get, if the camera's out of warranty, we have to spend $5,000 to get a brand new camera.
Yeah.
Here, we automatically get one just because it's, we're at the 5-year mark or the 10-year mark, we automatically get a whole new updated system.
see there.
So, and my thoughts are, if there is anything to what I wrote at the minutes 2 years ago about having to have a hearing for any projects over $100,000, that we potentially plan maybe 3 years, get that $120,000 mark that we would pay with bond proceeds. And there'd still be, with interest, we'd have, $400,000 or $500,000 for maintenance that might
Which fit.
be good. And Morgan does have
You
in your,
said you read the code.
that,
Yeah.
this was, Morgan had this in the packet. This is what the estimated maintenance was, 1.272 million for the tower.
Right.
But you think you can maybe reduce that to half?
Yeah, we bought in Bernie, we bought in Spencer with Amitel, who does some of the tower stuff over there as well, and basically they went through kind of the, not the line for line, we're still trying to get that of everything we need. But we know of another county that's paying less than $100,000 a year for maintenance, and here they're looking at 235 for us for the first year. There's a lot of stuff we don't need, and it's a brand new system. There's certain things we do need, we have to have, that's a requirement. I think there's a lot of stuff that, basically what we were told by an outsider was this was kind of the gold package. We don't need that,
Oh,
we don't need that gold package. So that's what we're working on right now, because that's gonna be finalized April-ish. In there.
when will we know, I mean, what you do need and don't need, I mean, is that, and then going back, does this have to go back then, like you say, through 911 and everybody get together on this? I mean, what?
I think
give
with the
me a-
maintenance it does.
This is an awful, I mean, and you probably can't answer that from the top of your head, but I mean, like the gold package to where do you think we might be on that? Do you have any idea?
Like I said, I wanna say anywhere from 6 to 8,
Probably play it safe.
because the maintenance was not part of the bond,
Was not part of the
was
bond.
not part of the bond.
Yeah,
And that's, those original discussions were, is that 911 was gonna help pay for that. We did plan on having X amount of dollars left over. We had contingency in there just because things happen, as well as the purchase of the land and stuff like that. So we have this, obviously we have to use it. It needs to be feasible. Perfect world, yeah, I'd love to have it all, but I know
Yeah.
that that's greedy, and I know that we have maintenance that we can put towards some of that from. So like I said, I'm not here to take every penny. I'm just helping to
so,
offset that.
so right now, we really don't have to wait till after the November meeting and 911 to get a real good idea of how.
It's gonna be the first week in November, the first Thursday of the month.
First Thursday.
I
So,
mean, is that, I think that's what we have to do.
yeah, and we have to schedule for a hearing anyway, so
Yeah.
we're gonna.
And I'm gonna- And by all means, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I think it's great. I think we need to have it done, but we also need the maintenance, which I'm glad we're gonna be going through the maintenance and figuring out what we need, what we don't need. And like you said, they're cutting our budget too. I mean, it's, 911 statewide is going to be cutting our budget. And then this isn't, I mean, from what I've gathered from other sources that, from other counties, this isn't the only thing that they're gonna be cutting. So, I mean, I'm just, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but we
Well,
can,
this cut is for a period of years through this project. Was it 3 years? I don't remember
Yeah,
what it
it's
was,
3
something
years.
like that. But,
it's supposed to go down.
911 is a healthy fund right now, but we had projected with because the money that 911 gets is from your landlines, which is dwindling every year, and cell phones.
And they're
where's
actually,
the other part.
they're trying to go out to raise the 911 surcharges on cell phone bills are, right now they're 99 cents. Right now they're gonna try to do it as $2.
Yeah, and that hasn't passed. They
That
tried that
hasn't
in
passed,
legislation before and it hasn't been successful to raise the.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so don't know if that will work or not. But the one thing that I have a question about is in the Motorola contract, it has a note that says post-warranty service pricing can be found on the following page, which is what Morgan provided in the packet. The system discount is contingent on Floyd County signing a 5-year maintenance and a SUA agreement with Motorola. So that's the only thing that concerns me is because we had a specific dollar amount we were spending with Motorola and that if we had change orders that brought that up, that counted for it, but that's the only part that I want to know. I just want confirmation on also that Motorola is going to say, oh, since you're not spending 1.2 million on service contract, we're gonna get a bill from Motorola because we didn't spend what we contractually said we would be spending.
And I knew that the lady
that
that
page.
did our presentation and stuff like that with Sherry was that the maintenance agreement was negotiable. And that even though it was in the contract, she had said it was negotiable, and that's where Motorola came back
She
and said.
said
"You signed the
two
contract."
different ways of
Then you
that at two
came back and
different
said that,
meetings,
no,
so I
it's in the
don't trust
contract.
it.
And then it went back to Motorola, and Motorola came back and said, she did say that it's negotiable. They tried to hold us to the 1.2 because it was in the contract, and we had plenty of people that said, no,
Yeah, but
this is
yeah,
what you said. And it came back that we were right, so.
Hmm.
So they knew that was negotiable, so.
I just don't want us,
I guess.
I know,
Say, hey,
but Sherry contradicted herself twice in meetings on that, the person from Motorola.
Oh,
she was the salesperson.
Yeah. So my faith there is not very strong.
Yes.
yeah.
so like I said, we'll just discuss it at the meeting and at the 911 meeting, and then we'll figure out, and I'm hoping we can still keep our discount too through.
But my thoughts are if we talk with Heidi Cool, maybe she can come up with a resolution or what specifics we might have to have in a hearing. If we do have to have a hearing, like I say, until I went back to those minutes, I didn't even remember reading about a hearing for other projects. And so, but if we could do it in a one thing that we have a hearing, that we have two projects, maintenance and, the sheriff's project, and that both are over $100,000 that we're covered with spending the rest of those bond proceeds.
So, okay.
But that's my thought, is that we spend at least $100,000, get that covered under the hearing process if we have to have that hearing, and then get the money spent down. But I think your plan with your cameras and laptops sounds reasonable. And whatever we can do to help that out, but not shortchange 911, because 911, I think in the next 5 years will not be the fund balance that it is today, and that is concerning.
And it's very concerning.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because you don't have, you're limited with your resources. It's what the state funds on grants and it's what you get in cell phone and
Mhm.
landline charges. So it's,
So basically, we'll wait to hear. Who's on the line?
Frank.
Oh, Frank, okay. And, get back to us, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And
I see your contract that you had, or the quote that you had is good until January 1st or something like
Yeah.
that.
Both of them, like I said, the camera, that will probably get, I don't know if it will get tweaked or not. I think
Yeah, he said
if we're
within a
pretty,
year, November usually is when they start changing.
Yeah, I think if we're
Might be a
pretty-
little bit.
pretty good on this is gonna happen, I think they probably work with us. They've been working with us quite a bit. And then the computer guy actually reached out to me last week, wanting to know what the status was. Wanted me to know if we had to refigure the cost after January first.
And that has the laptops in it also, or not? That's your laptops for the community foundation grant, totally separate from this, or that is part of that 42,000 a month or a year?
No, 422 is just for the cameras.
Oh, just the
The
cameras.
computers were the 64,000.
Okay,
Minus what we paid 10 for the community, we paid 52,000 that we would ask for from the bond. Then when we get to the 422 for the camera, would be another discussion of how much would be reasonable or able to offer. So,
so you said 52 for the laptops then, if you get your successful with your $10,000? So did Jeff not have anything budgeted for laptops? I think there was talk at some time about having some rotation of,
Bernie had talked about that, this 5-year plan of rotating computers and stuff like that. The desktops, we've all got taken care of. The Windows 11 on these was pretty much a blind side. We've been going back and forth about whether or not they were
but
gonna
there's nothing in Jeff's budget for
to replace it.
replacing any laptop, even just if one died?
We had talked about it, but, you know, we know how the budgets have gone the last couple of years and losing cars and different things to factor in. You know, even 2 computers, $10,000. No, we're kind of 50,000 for a car or so forth. It's a give and take, and
Talking to Bernie, yeah, I mean, Microsoft is usually given some, going from 7 to 8 and all that, but here he said it looks like just, they're not even gonna give you much time. And figured it would take,
Monopoly.
it would bring in 70 billion to Microsoft.
It's such a monopoly. To me, it's like the bills.
with this
For
computer,
phone
obviously, you can
companies,
see
years
how
past.
different it is between your laptops.
Yeah,
The agencies that had these, they've had them for 16, 17 years.
really.
And the new ones that have come out, they've had them and then they've gotten rid of them, tried to go back to this. Panasonic actually took this away because nobody was buying them. Well, the reason nobody was buying them because they lasted forever. But now they brought them back last year, about a year and a half ago, because as they're starting to wear out now, all these 10, 15, 20-year-old computers are starting to, reach the end of their life, so they have to replace them. And we're not in that boat. It's a great computer. It works. Windows 11,
Changed the whole thing.
fashion. We have a couple GPS on here because we have a mapping software for the state of Iowa, so we can be tracked. We can communicate with all the other law enforcement in Iowa. The GPS has gone down. We can't put the GPS back in it because it's not Microsoft compatible and it's rejected. So we're already starting to lose some features here.
I mean, it just,
It is what it is.
But so the responsibility to Jeff is going to be, he's gonna have to budget 42,000, plus he needs to put something in for replacement of laptops annually in his budget. He needs to figure out how to do that.
We'll put it in and see where it goes from
yeah,
there.
see
Well,
see where we go.
But yeah,
with,
Well, we
I
got
mean,
that coming.
I had one county that spoke at ISAC and said they told their staff for their last budgeting session, don't come to us with any budget over a 2% increase. That counts any wage increases, any equipment increases,
like I
anything
said,
like
if we
that.
want to budget $42,000 for cameras, we're putting in for cars every year too. At some point, we gotta cut somewhere and do something. It's
Yep.
a give and take and,
Cars might be a good cut, do one less car a year. I mean, it's serious budget.
exactly. And that's why, with this bond money, we're like, hey, we can,
But they got cars through
Yeah,
ARPA.
I know.
this
Yeah.
bond, we can take a big.
You haven't
hit.
lost any vehicles.
No.
You've gotten through ARPA.
Well, thank you.
That's kind of the ballpark. of what
Well,
we do.
yeah.
Seems like a lot for cameras, but
Right.
Well, the nice part about Axon with cameras, they're willing to work with us. So even this is good till, I think, November, he said. He said that if even we want to get on this for cost wise, even if we put like $10,000 on, just more or less that, hey, we're going with you, we're just getting our funds together. They would honor this. They would just show the first year's 10, but then they'd break it down as the difference over the next 9 years.
Yeah,
And we can pay ahead on it, or we can readjust the numbers for annual payment that we go each year.
Well,
Okay, so
the
we
part
got to make
about,
a
if you have
decision.
10 years with no interest on something,
Correct.
why would you not spread it out to 10 years?
Correct, yeah, exactly.
But I'm just saying is, if we got a grant every year, we could put that grant on it to lower that total cost and break it over the remaining years, or we could pay ahead on it so that if we had an issue the
Sure.
following year, our payment would be high.
The community grant for this, that's not till January.
Right.
So we gotta come up with 10,000 before January.
Well, that would be
That's
on, that would be on that.
Oh,
For the
correct, yeah.
computers,
Laptops.
Okay,
we could, whenever, just know that within the next month, all our computers are gonna be.
Don't they let you know?
this is
Don't they
the,
let you know earlier? They just don't give you the check till January's award.
They might let you know, yeah.
The award is then, the notification's in December, but the actual gifting date is in January.
January, that they're coming there.
that's the community, that's the money that comes from the casinos, right?
Some of it,
No.
some of it does. There's a little bit of the casino money that's built into it, but mostly it's endowments.
Endowments.
For the-
Get me a clearer picture.
And we've been very successful with grants. You just got your grant for what one?
The drone.
Drone, yeah.
Just under $10,000 that they gave the county
Yeah.
last year for that.
Fire department, one time we sponsored the fire department for the Sparky costume.
Good.
They've been,
We have
but
5 more grants out there that we're working on. Optimistic, some just tell you, nope, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll try every year. Like I said, every year we can get something.
Yep.
We'll go towards these projects, which will get refinanced and then lower that
Have you-
annual cost.
have you tried Omnitel's grant?
Yes. Omnitel, Adams Family, the casino.
I would think with
Pipeline,
Omnitel, we've spent so much
bank,
money with,
Citizens.
spent so much money with Omnitel, you'd think they could give us a bone here once in a grant. Any success with it, or you don't know?
It's all just, they're still out there. It's some of the stuff we were waiting for today, paperwork, and then some stuff. To be assigned to we can forward on.
Frank, you've been
So-
quiet during all this. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, I don't know, I think we've gone over things several times here. And we don't have, we can't really do anything until 911 meets, so. I can see that I'm spending some time coming up to speed on
I,
but hope that I can visit with the people that are involved.
I think we have a path. We'll just wait till after 911 and see what happens that night and then come back here.
I think where we could get a jump start is we know we're potentially gonna spend 100,000 plus with you guys and over 100,000 with maintenance contracts for 911. And I think if we could get that language for a resolution or whatever Heidi thinks, and if 911 meeting is Thursday, November 4th or whatever, 6th, then we could have, we're not gonna be, we're closed the 11th. I don't know when we're having a meeting on the 12th. I don't know if you want to do a hearing on the 12th of November, because if you got a November deadline to commit to your cameras.
Otherwise, this one could vary with interest or with their cost adjustments for the new year,
Right.
so it can go up.
So if we could set at a future meeting, like, and get with Heidi and see what we need to do for a language for projects over $100,000. We have to have that hearing, set that on the 21st or 28th, have the board take action to set the date and time for a hearing and do our publication for the hearing, but have that hearing either the 12th, or that might be easier for the 18th because of elections. But if we had that hearing the 18th, does that give you enough time to get?
I think, yeah,
I'm sure they'll work with us.
we can reach out to
Cooperation
them
with them.
Forgot about the election.
here this week.
You're
Let
right.
them know
They
that
were closed the 11th.
So we go to the 18th.
And I think you're planning the meeting the 12th. For election canvas anyway. And then, so yeah, maybe the 18th might be a fun.
I think if you
Do
said,
you want me to talk to Heidi? Would that be easier? I don't. It's up to you. I know you're busy with election stuff. I'd be glad to talk to Heidi if you.
I think it'd be important for me to be involved as well.
Okay, you can do it if you
But,
want,
like,
I just don't want
I'm
your
not saying that by myself, I need to do it. I'm just saying I do think it'd be something that would be important for me to learn about. As far as the conversation, when Travis asks specific questions, I let him have those conversations, which I think is fun because we have been a little bit swamped.
Yeah.
But I can't keep putting off.
How about if I shoot Heidi an email, include you on the email? So she knows what we're talking about, and if we need to set up time with her, she can tell us that, or she can just give us some language or a resolution to set a hearing.
And then we would know about 911 and then we'll have contact with both of those. So then basically we would just
If we
come
go,
to a dollar amount that's feasible for everybody at that point.
yeah, yeah.
Move forward, I think would be.
Okay, if you can wait that long, I mean,
We'll try.
just like that. Yeah, I know. So, anything else? If we got,
Well, I'd like
okay,
to
what-
throw a little pitch out for a couple of projects that I was thinking about as well.
Oh, you're too late now, you should have got ahead of Travis.
I tried. Basically, I've been thinking about the possibility of using some of this leftover bond money to upgrade our outdoor warning siren system throughout the county. Right now, we've got sirens in each one of the communities. So we've got that, but where there's a gap is the activation portion of those, like that's all kind of, each community has a different way of activating their sirens. I would like to try to get a system brought into place, put into our comm center so that our dispatchers have that ability. As right now, for example, Charles City, the activation stuff was over in City Hall. During the remodel program, it's gotten moved over to the fire department. So in the case that they would have to be set off, somebody's got to make sure that they're at the fire department to get that done. So,
is
you
there
know,
somebody in the Charles City Fire Department? I mean, it's there all day?
most of the time,
Okay,
it's not 24/7 like it used to be back in the
Okay.
day. But it's manned by at least one person most of the time. But, you know, the other towns, they all have different ways of activating theirs. I just think that it would be important to have it all on one consistent system. Have policies in place that this is when the sirens get activated. And I don't know how much that is yet. I've been trying to work on that. I've got a Homeland Security Conference this week down in Ankeny that I'll be leaving for this afternoon. I know that there will be at least one of the vendors down there that I'm gonna corner and try to get some answers to, but I guess today I was just looking to see if that would be something that you guys would be interested in talking about. Probably about the same time we get things figured out with the sheriff's office stuff as well.
so tell me, what happens now? I mean, the signal goes out to all the communities by phone?
Well, in Charles City, it goes out by radio, and right now it's on the old VHF system, so I guess when we started talking about this was when we started the new digital radio system and want to get them all upgraded, so, you know, if we can, and I'm not quite sure. Our radio vendor that we've had install the system now said that there's ways of bridging that gap and getting all sirens. What are the word, intercompatibility between the VHF and the new digital system. There's ways to do that, but we're still waiting on answers on that as well, so. You know, unfortunately, I can't tell you that it's gonna cost X amount of money to do this, but. If I had your blessing to, that this might be something that would be feasible out of these monies, then I could look at it a little bit harder and try to drill things down better. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to try to figure something else out.
When Red had their tornado, did they get theirs on a system that works, it's compatible now? So it's still somebody has to go flip a lever?
Well, it's not a lever. I think that they've got a remote way to do it.
So who
I
makes this?
think it's kind of similar to Floyd's now. Somebody still has to be there and flip a switch of some sort to activate it. I don't think it's like get on your phone and do it through a phone or anything like that. I think they still have to go somewhere, fire station, city hall, somewhere and flip a switch. Just like Floyd, it's a switch they turn on, they wait for it to get to the top and then they can turn it back off or they just leave it go on. But like you said, everyone's a little bit different. I'm not for sure on some of the other ones, but most of them, I think it's, you have to go somewhere. Somebody has to go somewhere.
So these warnings are all triggered by the National Weather Service or?
No,
Who
they're
makes the
individual by
decision? Who makes the
jurisdiction,
decision that we're gonna turn on the alarm?
each community.
So I think if your spotter's out and he sees a tornado, he's making a call somewhere to say, hey, there's a tornado. Isn't that how someone then
Basically,
goes and pushes the button or whatever?
we do have, in the state, there's best practices, that recommend, to say Charles City gets put in a tornado warning. So Charles City is included in that, polygon. That's automatic that, yep, that's a trigger, we're gonna set them off. Winds over 70 miles an hour, that's a trigger, we're gonna set them off. Hail that's golf ball size or bigger, that's a trigger, we're gonna set them off. You know, if we got the county on board to, or all of the communities in the county on board to accept those, and we had the controls and dispatch, it'd be pretty easy for dispatch to say, oh, Rudd's in a tornado warning polygon. Push a button and it's done.
Go.
Well, I think, we'll always look at things, but again, you can afford things like that, you know?
Right,
So there again, I hope you're gonna be on the November agenda for 911 because that's a 911
but
funding option as well.
no, 911 won't pay for that
Why not?
because it's not in direct, how do they say it? It's not, doesn't have to do with the incoming emergency call. I agree with you that it doesn't make sense, but I've asked that specific question and the 911 fund will not pay for that.
It's all the, what, disposition?
Disposition, yep.
The incoming
But even if
disposition of a
dispatch is the
911
one-
call.
Even if
Tornado
this,
siren is not a 911.
the communications button saying,
That doesn't make any sense.
It's,
I agree.
yeah.
well, I know, and that's like when Travis was talking about his laptops. I remember that conversation with the 911 person in Des Moines. As the auditor's treasurer for 911 and having a conversation with them, could we put these laptops out there because they're using 911? The laptops for
Dispatching, we can
911.
dispatch ourselves, we get dispatched calls on here. That's,
And the only way they said you could do it is if you figure some prorated number of how many calls are 911 versus how many are not, you know, cats in the trees, not a 911 emergency. But that you could prorate a dollar amount, but it was,
pennies.
yeah.
Hmm. Another one of those little.
And I've got one more to throw in too. This one's kind of an easy one.
Could you do another, could you do another community foundation grant
Sure.
tomorrow,
I could
like
try.
tomorrow?
No,
Okay. Next year you're thinking that, or what are you thinking? Because they're due tomorrow, you said, is that right?
Yeah, I think tomorrow was good.
I really hadn't been thinking about any grant stuff because I thought that this was kind of a, to me, it would make sense to use some of this money for that. And, you know, I don't know if it's $20,000 program, $30,000 program. I need to figure that out first, but I wanted you guys to tell me if you thought that that would be a good use of that money and then I can kind of run
Well, that's,
without committing
that's the
to
tough
it.
part of it, because
Right.
we have over 500,000 in maintenance and we have whatever, 100,000 plus.
Pretty hard to
for
give you a definitive
Cameras
answer,
and,
you know,
yeah.
at this time, but
But what I can do is when I send the email to Heidi, I can say, we're looking at it as well. That's gonna be under 100,000, but we could, if anything, it could still be part of our hearing notice.
And it's like Travis said earlier, we just wanted to start this conversation today. We're
yeah.
not looking for a 100% answer. We just wanted to make you guys aware of it. The other thing that I've been thinking about kicking around, kind of a pet project, would be putting a video camera on top of the Rockford radio tower with the purpose of monitoring weather coming in from the west. Some other EMAs have been doing that with success. And with a 10-year license that would cover National Weather Service having access to that camera feed, so they can have eyes up here to see whether, you know, we're serviced by a lacrosse weather office. So they'd be able to see it. The camera itself would be around $4,200 and the license over 10 years would be around $1,600. You throw some costs in for an engineer to climb up to the top and install it, hook it up. total, you'd be somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. But I think it'd be pretty nice to be able to have that eye up in the sky, basically a permanent weather spotter that you could call on whenever you wanted to and see, you know, what's coming from that way. And it's, the tower over there is a perfect location. It's right on the edge of the county, 300 feet up. We'd be able to see a lot of stuff with it.
That feed would come into like dispatch?
It'd be,
Or you?
it'd be like a cloud-based service where anybody that had the link
Just get
could,
it on the
yeah,
computer?
you'd have to have specific permissions to do it, but you know, like I said, I could have it, Sheriff's Office, National Weather Service, anybody else that we deemed applicable to have it could have it. And
Mhm.
so that's kind of a small item, but that would be nice to have as well.
That on less.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Should have started with that
That
one.
right there is a trigger that I think that would be a good idea myself, you know, because like you say, it's a perfect spot. And Rockland's down that way, a lot of weather systems come in from the, of course, the west and the southwest and they're looking good, you know?
Where does the weather service get their feed from?
As far as video,
Well, not video,
Radar.
but just weather. But they would say, hey, there's 70-mile-an-hour winds or whatever, where,
well, they've got radar indicated stuff, but that's where North Iowa, North Central Iowa lacks in weather radar because we're so far away from Des Moines and we're so far away from La Crosse. And the way that the weather radar operates, it's a straight line. So it's great. It's better the closer you are to the radar, because as you factor in the curvature of the earth, that radar beam is way up here now. By the time it gets to us, it's way up here. So they can't see what's going on between here and here in the storm.
sure.
So having as much real-time data as they could have is more beneficial to everybody to make decisions.
Does the
And so
camera
that could
alert
be-
you then when certain things
No.
happen?
We'd have to still be on our game to know that, yeah, we've got some stuff coming in from Saragordo County or Cassuth County, you know, it's headed this way, so turn that feed on and, you know, use it as another
The feed
tool in
be
the toolbox.
constant. Anybody could feed into that. I mean, that would be constant, or is it just gonna have to be triggered first?
No, it'd basically be literally like the KAMTI in the sky up on
Yeah.
top of the courthouse right now. It's constantly
Okay.
looking, seeing, broadcasting. You know, so, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, if you got a weather alert on your phone,
You could look.
I wonder what it looks like over there. And 2 o'clock in the morning is probably a poor example. I know that they've got some night vision capability on them as well, low light stuff, but I should have said like at 5 o'clock in the evening or something, but
Yeah.
it would be available anytime to check out the feed.
Who did you say has this?
Cassuth County either has it or is in the process of getting it, and I know Emmett County has it. They've got a couple different locations within their county that they're installing them in, and pretty good program. So, you know, at first I thought that 10-year licensing fee was kind of expensive for $1,700, but you break that down over 10 years, it's $160. So, I mean, it's really not that much.
You know, it might be that we're gonna have to prioritize
I know.
things and.
Yeah.
I think it's a good project, but my thoughts is probably not as high a priority as some of the other stuff. we've done on that camera part anyway.
Yep, I just thought I'd throw it in there.
Well, I can see the beneficial part of that. The easily lower costs. Keep us informed,
Okay,
you know, I'd like to know more about it. So,
will do.
I
Thank you.
think we just need to, like, on your guys' part, we just need to get some solid confirmation about that bundling.
Yeah.
Package deal with maintenance contract.
What page was that on, or where were you reading that?
It's the page right before what you had there.
Before the service.
Yeah, it's, section 14.1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, well, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, to number 9, review action regarding the 2025 weed commissioners report. We have
Yeah.
a weed commissioner. There you go.
Good. I did get a number for the cost.
Did ya?
And it's a total cost of all herbicides, because that's the question they ask. All herbicides that the county spent, so
Not just for herbicides, for the weeds that we're doing.
it doesn't say for the weeds, it says all herbicides, so I included everything.
Okay. That must not be so where we're at,
Which question are you answering here?
so we're at, on the weed commissioner's report. There's a line that didn't have a dollar amount in it, and it was, in the past year, how much did your county spend on purchasing herbicides? And so that's what I talked to him about, because that was left blank, and I looked back at past years, and Adam had put a dollar in there, but it was,
That was my fault. I was gonna get the information and I got busy doing other things.
and so what's that number then that you've got?
$18,818.
Now, so is that herbicides that you guys are purchasing for projects that you're working on as well? Like, say you're,
That's just that's herbicides that the county purchased for our roadside spraying.
okay.
Isn't that beyond the weed commissioner responsibility?
Well, that's the question, because Adam's number, I was just gonna look up to see what,
What was that number again? 18,000?
818.
That covers all the ditch spraying in this county, which is, I think one time I read, because I wanted to put wild parsnip underneath there, but it was something like 5,000 miles or something of road ditch. I mean, 18,000 doesn't seem like an awful lot for 5,000 road miles, but
so I thought $624 is an amount that Adam had in there at one time. The other question was, Adam was putting on the page that has the table of chemical and brand and rate used and quantity used to control what. And Tim has a lot of things listed under there, including things that have to do with brush and like Tordon for killing when you cut the tree down or whatever. That's never been on the weed commissioner's report before, so that's what I asked him
And it
about.
was because I put it on there.
Adam's reports.
Adam got that, what was used from me in the beginning.
Yeah,
The end ones, he changed.
his were like poison hemlock, Canadian thistle, buckthorn are the only things he listed for the herbicide usage table.
Okay,
And I mean, if we're spending 17,000, I don't know where you're going, Frank, but what I'm thinking is, we're not spending that out of Department 24, we've committed budget. And there's a cost for the road clearing part as well, is what I assume, and that's where I believe it's been coming from. And so,
Isn't that the responsibility of the engineer to maintain ditches?
well, that's where my issues are with the Tordon type stuff that's in the report. Like I'm gonna get down to it. Like on your report on page, in your packet, it'd be on page 33. There's, Tordon 17.5 gallons of Tordon for trees and brush, and then there's pathway for cut stump treatment on tree stumps. The rest are, thistle, grass, cornerstone for grass. And
So the question is just
those are
not
big.
necessarily the money, but which category to put it in, right? And which department? Is that your question on this?
Well, yeah, my question was the previous page or whatever didn't have a dollar amount, so
Yeah,
it needed a
right,
dollar amount.
Right. Mhm.
And that in Adam's, I don't know where Adam got his money. In Department 24, there is a line, did Tracy get a chance to look up that detailed report?
Well, wouldn't that go in that, brush?
Road clearing?
Road clearing, right?
I think so.
That's an engineering.
Yeah.
It's not
So?
a weed, not a weed.
So. I guess I'm confused.
So we need a dollar amount right there on page 32 of your packet. In the past, how much did your county spend on purchasing herbicides?
Or are they asking the total herbicides or are they asking, because
I don't know.
that's what
another
I'm going,
question.
I'm going with, they wanna know what the county spent on herbicides.
They want to know
Well,
what the
but it's a
weed commissioner spent.
That ain't what they specifically asked.
But it's a weed commissioner's report. And the noxious weeds are identified on the first page of the document. So I would think it would be product that's used to get rid the blackthorn, the bull thistle, Canadian thistle, all those things identified on that first page, on page 31 of your packet.
Would that be on private property where there's been a complaint and you should observe the weed infestation and remedying it? That would be my interpretation.
I would think it probably could, like when we had that one deal with the guy with the thistles over by North Road,
Mhm.
that he got Adam sent the notice that he needed to remedy his issue and he didn't do it. So I think,
I sent him one and he
was that you?
took care of it this year.
He did take care, but in the past, didn't we have to do something?
In the, I've never sprayed out of the right of way.
Out in the right of way. He's just in the right of ways, yeah.
Maybe
Was
the
it
zero
owls
is
or did
good.
we?
Cause if it's gonna be out of the right of way, I'm gonna hire a contractor, cause I'm not gonna send road department guys to do it, and I'm not gonna do it myself.
Makes sense.
But I can't remember if that was with you or with Adam. It seems like that was with Adam, but I can't remember. But like Adam said, I know this was the same guy, or was it there only the one time issue?
So if it's the right up on T-38,
Yeah,
we both send him notices.
okay. 2 different years or same?
Yes, 2 different years.
And so the year Adam would have done it? Would they have-
I don't know if he ever sprayed them. I don't think so, because they were still there.
Yeah.
This year he mowed it all.
Okay, so it's water under the bridge. I thought that number should be herbicides purchased for weeds listed on page 1. But I don't know. And it seems like the Tardon stuff that's used for bushes growing in the ditches, trees growing in the ditches should be under road clearing. It seems like, rather than weed.
Well, if you look at a lot of this, what I look at it, I mean, you got a lot of the, thistles and cockles and grass, stuff like that. Anything probably to do with, killing trees, and, brush, should go probably to Adams, the road clearing.
Road clearing.
But this first one, that's probably the thing to do. Estimate what that cost would be to kill these,
The noxious.
noxious weeds, yes, and, wild mustard and, well, yeah. you know, can we do that? Just figure that out. I mean, if you go back to the weed, what you use, I don't see anything there for 2,4-D. Which, I would think that would be a popular something for broadways, but maybe you use other things, crossbow, huh? That's probably what you more or less.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's for a
2,4-D
broadway,
probably
that's
drifts too much and all that. Crossbow you can spray on, yeah, makes sense.
Crossbow's a mix
Yeah,
of 2,4-D.
D and, yeah, okay. So maybe we do that, you know, you just, take the crossbow and,
So this report is filed with the Department of Agriculture.
Hey, stewardship,
Maybe you should contact them and see what should be on that line. I mean, there's two different things. And I guess I'd like to hear the engineer's viewpoint of this.
I'm not all that familiar with this particular report. I've never filled one out, I've really seen it other than in your guys' packet here this week. My comments would be, the results of this report. What, I'm trying to say is, what's the goal of this report? Is it to try to get more funding for this project? It's just kind of a report,
just a report required.
just a report
It's
required.
Mhm.
So it sounds to me like the way it's worded, there isn't necessarily an exact way to fill it out. I mean, if it's asking how much money have we spent, as the county spent on herbicides in the last year, that could be interpreted, how much money did the entire county spend on all the herbicides in the last year? Or because it is a weed commissioner report, it could be interpreted, how much money did the weed commissioner, the county spend for weed commissioner, weed control? There's different, could potentially be two different interpretations. I mean,
I think the major interpretation would be that they're asking the weed commissioner how much herbicide the weed commissioner used to fulfill his duties. And his duties don't spread over to.
that could be
Maintenance
how
of
it could
right.
be interpreted. I don't know that it matters.
Everything was sprayed in the right of way. So I could put down 0. As a weed commissioner.
That's what you're saying. That's what,
I mean, if it's just something reporting, it depends on what the goal of this report ultimately is.
Well,
You can, if the goal is to show exactly how much money the county's spending on weed control as a whole county, then maybe you want the higher number to show exactly how much money the whole county is spending on weed control. If it's just for weed commissioner complaints, it's just, what's the overall goal of the report?
I would think it goes beyond complaints. My only thing is that I don't think it's for clearing brush items, trees and brush. Even though you're using a herbicide on that. What's that?
Buckthorn is a tree.
it's a brush.
It's a brush.
That's a
It's a
bad
woody.
one. That's,
But for buckhorn, you're listing that one though.
Yes.
You're listing that one as,
I can get it broke down to the Terraview, the Escort, Garland, Cornerstone, and Crossbow, which would basically leave out the 2.
you're saying you're using Garland for Ultra for buckthorn.
buckthorn's a good thing to control, because that's where all the aphids come from that hit the farmers bad. So that's their host plant.
I saw
So,
one field when we were coming back from Des Moines the other day with tons of like ivy, not in Floyd County, tons of like ivy kind of stuff wrapped around the
oh, that's wild
The-
cucumber,
tree
I think, right?
or that wrapped around the corn stalks.
Yeah.
It was like all across this
This year,
field.
I think the weather, you got a lot of morning glory and you got wild cucumber that just,
Went
oh
wild.
my gosh, went wild. Never seen it before. this bad, so, yeah. But I think it just kind of nonsensical here. I mean, it's a report that we have to file, right?
Yeah.
And, I think if you just take the crossbow and the Garland, you know, that's basically what I think you would use. And the rest of it, I think, would go underneath the road clearing.
I honestly don't know that it matters. If the people that would accept this report want us to do something different, they'll let us know. Or they'll change the report to be more specific.
Yeah,
I think you guys are cutting hair.
I really don't know. I mean, it's the first time I've seen this, you know.
But
What we do with it.
again, not knowing what Adam did, where $700 reported in past years to $19,000 reported this year. And that's a huge difference. And so I guess that's where, did the $19,000 get spent on, part of this is complaints that there's thistles in the ditch over here. But it's in the right of way, and I think that's the weed commissioner's responsibility is what's in the right of way, as well as if there's issues that people aren't complying with maintaining weeds on their properties.
I don't know if it's the fact that we've gone, maybe it was just covered up or it went in on your road clearing fund before and then now we're reporting it, right? I mean, it's had to be there before if you've been spraying the ditches and
I
everything.
mean, the report doesn't seem to be specific to the weed commission. It just says how much.
The report is specific to weed commission, I would say. It's listing noxious weeds. You're reporting your noxious weeds.
But then
So
the
it-
question says the county, how much does the county spend on herbicides? It doesn't say how much the weed commissioner spend on herbicides. It's the county. So you could.
What
Yeah, I-
herbicides did your county use in your weed control program?
weed
Be
control.
specific. It's in your weed control program is what the report says.
Okay, I said I'm not.
Please do not list surfactants or adjuvants. I don't even know what those words are, sorry. If the spray program is contracted in your county, ask your contractor for this information. So I think I don't know, I just think your buckhorn is covered with your Garland 4 Ultra. And are you putting Tordon on buckhorn?
If we cut it,
So you're using Tordon and Garland 4 on buckhorn?
if they cut it, we still treat it.
That kills it.
Right, but you don't do any of that on private land. You're doing it all on.
It's all in the right of way.
So, I mean, have you had any contact with the Iowa Weed Commissioner Association? Really have no training as far as,
Or IDALs?
so there is an Iowa Weed Commissioner
Mm-hmm.
Association, and they have examples of this report and how much would be filled out, and different things like that. And I suggest you look at that and see what we do with this report. I don't know, maybe we've been filling it out like this all along. But apparently
No,
there's some difference.
It's been, Tordon's not been put on the report that I went back and looked at, for example. And the cost has probably not been as much as it should be, with $700, cause I probably didn't take long to spend $700.
Through the years, the responsibility of weed commissioner has kind of changed a little bit. We used to have the emergency management person did it at one time, I remember, and then Lyle Lartz was the weed commissioner for years. And now you're
Then it was
sitting in your lap
conservation.
now.
Conservation. Lucky Tim now. My thoughts are they could call and the Idels or the, I wonder what it takes to be a member of the weed commissioner association. Like a good resource.
Is this time specific, this report? I mean, it's time
November first,
November
it
1st.
has to be signed and sent in.
So we've got,
Is it possible that you could, call down to the head weed commissioner and get a little clarification and, so that would satisfy all this and where it goes, I guess. I don't know budget wise or what, before, but this seems to be a lot of, I don't know. Then if you could report back to us, maybe you could divide it up and what you use somehow.
I'll call them, I'll get a little more,
Would you?
and then, I'll break it down into what we use just for the
Okay,
noxious weeds.
okay. I'll try to do that. And
And then I'll get it to you three, and then one of you can sign, or
we'll sign
the
off.
chair can sign off on that.
Yeah, okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Go on with that. Okay, I guess we're tabling that.
I'll send you a couple of past weed commissioner reports. Tim,
Okay.
And those are the pages.
I think I have some gaps in some of them, but I'll send you a few of them. 2020, 2022, and 2023. I don't have last year's or.
Probably through what Adam had.
I'll include you on it. I'll include you guys as well.
Okay. Okay,
Great.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go on here, a review, and we're gonna table that. Maybe put it on a future, agenda item.
Yeah,
Is there a motion required to?
it doesn't hurt to have one if we have a specific date, if we
Yeah, that'd
think
be-
we're gonna have it ready for the next week's meeting. Could do that, so for the
I'll
21st.
entertain a motion to
I
table
would
this.
recommend the 28th, we've got a safety date in 21st.
That's right, 28th. I'd make a motion that we suspend any action on the weed commission notice, 2025 weed commissioners report until October 28th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to extend, the weed commissioners report until
Suspend.
October, the meeting, October 22nd. Any more discussion?
28th,
What did I say?
22nd.
I had it written down that way. All those, in favor, aye? Aye. No, passed. Okay. Moving on to 10, review action regarding secondary roads, purchasing new culvert forms. You were talking
Good
about
morning,
that
everyone.
last time.
What's that?
Where'd you go, the culvert forms or something?
Yep, this is the official request.
Okay.
Our culvert forms, where we make our own 3x5 cement culverts during the winter time. They're well over 20 years old, or 25 years old. I know one set was built in about 2000. So we got an estimate to replace them, get new forms. Estimate for one of them is $9,500. We have two sets. So the total will be about 19,000. They estimated about 19,000. So it's, as I said in the quote, it's just an estimate. But looking for approval for that, so we can get that ordered, hopefully get those made here before we do them.
What company is that through?
North Iowa Fabrication.
North Iowa Fabrication.
And so they're, what they have in their quote says there could be, reverse engineering needs to be done on it. We did an estimate based on our fabrication experience and did not fully reverse engineer the project due time and cost involved to do this.
We gave them the old form, they've had our old forms here for a month, 2 months, and they've looked at them, they haven't, according to this, they didn't fully reverse engineer it, make sure we got exactly, but they're trying to get us an estimate, so in every time they used their judgment and came up with an estimate.
So what potential could that add to cost if they had to?
Steel prices,
Well, no, is the reverse engineering that they have to redesign?
They're just looking at what we have now and how to make
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then,
I don't know the best way to describe it, I'm not 100% up on it, what exactly they did, how they're putting their quote, but I think they just want to cover themselves for any unexpecteds that they didn't quite. I mean, they have the forms, they've looked at them. They were able to kind of design new ones.
you
Rough
tell
design.
us approximately what the cost of new forms of this nature would be.
This is the
This
cost,
is for new
this is new
forms.
forms.
This is to get new
Yes,
forms.
this is
but-
get new forms.
But if you bought them from a manufacturer, like were they built, custom built in the first place or not?
I'm actually not sure exactly who built the current ones that we have. I'm not sure if you can get them. This
I
is,
doubt you can just go.
this is kind of
buy
custom
these
build type of
Anywhere.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
they talk about the reverse engineering, I'm sure. They have to build jigs or whatever to make these specifically.
Yeah.
And, because it isn't, you just don't go and
You
buy them
don't-
from Walmart. You know,
no.
These are different.
I mean,
So-
not everybody, we are just about the only county that does this type of activity. So the only other people that would have these type of forms are the actual culvert manufacturers. So it's not something you can just go buy somewhere. They have to be built specially for us.
But
So-
we're one of the few counties, huh?
We're one of the few, but I think Howard County would like to buy a set of these forms as well, so they might come in and get a set of themselves from this company.
And that's more cost effective to, spend $10,000 on these forms than to just buy the culverts from
In
a,
the end, I believe it is, yes. Because it does give our guys something to do during the winter time, which can be a challenge because there's not a whole lot of construction activity you can do in the winter time when you're not plowing snow.
Mhm.
And we can do 2 culvert sections a day. So in a week, we can easily have a length of culvert for replacing.
Curiosity, how many of these culverts do we use a year roughly? I imagine that really depends.
It depends,
But I bet you use them.
I'm gonna say roughly half a dozen
Have done, okay.
of the full line of culverts. I think there's 10 or 11 sections we use per installation.
And the others lasted 20 years,
25.
25.
Well, one set lasted, the other one's older than that.
Really.
I don't know when the first set was made. It was in 2000. I think we got our second set.
So that's pretty good.
So they're in rough shape.
Yeah.
I think this was originally budgeted for by Jacob to do it this year.
I like the idea of using local
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
business. Yeah.
I'd be in order to make a motion to approve this purchase.
Sure.
Yeah, we just really can't tie a dollar number to it.
Right.
Just an estimate of $9,500.
A case and two of them, right?
Two forms, yes.
Yes.
Forms.
I'm gonna-
Make that motion, Chris.
Second,
Second.
you get the motion there?
There wasn't a motion.
The motion was, made by Frank to, order 2,
Culvert form.
culvert form pattern, 2 culvert forms.
2 sets of culvert.
2 sets of culvert forms at an estimated cost of $9,500 each.
Oh,
That's right, that's the motion.
From
I thought it was
North
something
Iowa
different.
Fabrication.
Oh, I thought you were saying though that you didn't want him to tie a dollar amount to it.
No, I put the estimate in there. Yeah.
Estimate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I have a motion. And a second, any more discussion? Being none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, that carried. Thank you. Now, engineers update.
All right, since I have the safety meeting next week, I thought I'd come in this week to give you kind of a quick update. Secondary road activities, we are working on patching Underwood. We'll work on that probably all this week. Got a few patches done already. DD3 work, that bypass culvert, we're hoping to get that later this week. If not, it'll be next week. Again, our safety meeting is October 21st, next Tuesday. Pickups, we've had a little bit of activity with auctions recently. We have one of our old pickups that we replaced with the last auction purchase. It's on the auction block right now. I think today is the last day, so we will get that sold. I think right now it's at $1,100 or so. We were offered $500 for trade-in for it, so we were happy with the apparent results of that. I'm hoping it goes up a little bit more today, because today's the last day. We did also purchase a pickup last Friday, late afternoon from auction. It was from Iowa City. I emailed you guys this morning a handwritten claim that has to be wire transferred within 5 business days of purchase. Their rules. So we've got a wire transfer fee, and we also have the pickup purchase price. I do have the claim form here. If Gloria or Boyd, you guys want to sign it here, you're welcome to, or you can just send an email back. I got your email here earlier this morning, so thank you.
We can all sign this.
Yeah, we'll sign it. Yeah,
I have both of them right here.
what time?
Regardless of the email, they still have to have the document signed, so.
Okay. And those are the 2 claim forms for that. We've done very well on auction purchases so far with the 2 that we purchased. Last one turning out to be a pretty decent truck, and this one looks like it should be as well.
Good,
So,
that's always good news.
yes, well, when you're spending only about $10,000 for a truck instead of 50, makes a difference. This particular truck is a 2011. It's only got about 46,000 miles on it.
You can get Frank if you want to sign it.
Sorry,
No, he's fine.
I thought he approved it.
He emailed her, but I guess he's going to sign it.
Initial.
Yeah, we just initially. Yeah,
Okay,
What is the auction? pickup?
the auction,
11.
2011 F-250.
One being sold, and was in,
The one being sold is a 2000 F-250. See that, both of them back here. I'm missing one. You saw the other one in front of you there, Frank?
oh,
Yeah, one's the bank transfer fee and one is the actual pickup purchase.
The white one?
It is the white one, yes. From the city of Iowa City. Okay, moving on to office activities. The HMA resurfacing going on right now is in progress. For B60, we are on the east section, the 6-mile section between Shadow Avenue 264 and Nashua. I think if the weather holds, they're hoping to get done with mainline paving tomorrow. Then after that, we've got a couple intersections to do and shouldering and painting. So we'll hopefully close that project out here within the next week and a half or so. Rockford Shop, they are finishing up this week. We're gonna have a walkthrough on Friday for that project. So that's just
on Friday.
this coming Friday, yes.
I
So
think I'll go
that,
to Mason today. I think I'll swing around that way and take a look.
it looks very good, very nice. We are very happy with how things are turning out, so. And then T26, Heartland has started to mill this week. I think yesterday they started, today they should finish up milling. They're hoping to pave next week on that project. We hope that they're in and out for paving in a week. And then they'll get their shoulder work done and painting and all that, so that is coming up pretty quickly too. I did have another engine ordinance sign request come into my office here last week. The request was on T38, north of Highway 14, south of the railroad tracks. It'd be for northbound traffic slowing down for those railroad tracks. We do not have any signs left in our inventory.
I just had somebody give me one too. I didn't know if I could bring it up now or in a future agenda. But, north of Rudd and T38 coming into town, they're,
On T38 or T26?
it's glass. With
I think
glass
it's
avenue, which is
T26.
26.
26. 28.
Okay,
Yeah,
do you guys want me to order more signs? If so, how many you want me to order?
I personally would say yes. I mean, we got, and I know they're hard to enforce and all this, but it, if they help some,
Yeah.
because it must be getting bad. And of course, everybody, it's taking harvest out. I mean,
It's that time of year for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Six more signs?
I would say yes. I don't know, Frank, you guys got any, they're what, how much a piece?
The signs I think are about, I want to say $30, $50 a piece, somewhere around there. It costs us about $200 for each installation.
By the time you do it.
Labor, equipment, sign costs.
I trust your judgment on the new reading here.
No, I'm leaving this one up to you guys. It's more of a,
It's tough because you had said how it's not enforceable, so it's tough to put them out there when it's something you can't enforce.
But haven't we gotten a lot less problems like the gravel trucks on Underwood? and
I
all
think
that?
This one we heard about, but.
it's
that
one we
was-
heard about over on B57 East Underwood. And I think biggest thing that helped is the sheriff contacted the quarry.
Right,
I think that probably helped more so than the
Yeah.
sign.
yeah.
I'm not saying the signs do nothing, because but they're not doing as much as what people would hope. Especially as you get more and more out there. So. But, okay, I'll order six more. We'll get one north of Rudd, T26, and we'll get one on the Lancer Avenue, T38 by the railroad tracks. That kind of the direction I'm receiving from you.
I know we talked about that last time, Niles Corner headed to Underwood.
You want me to hit that one up too?
We're doing it. And also talked about, what is the one that hits Underwood when you go out, Cleveland Avenue and,
Oh, is it at 180th? That Seal Coat Road?
yeah, the one that's just north of the
We've
Mennonite
got
Church.
one. Where's the, I think that's that 180th, I believe. We've got one going away from Underwood already. That's one you had requested. You want one going towards Underwood?
What, B47?
The one that goes past like the auction place and
Pardon?
gardens.
B47.
B47, okay. Yeah, that's Seal Coat Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Timber 180th, okay. You want one going the other direction now? We do have one going for westbound traffic. Away from, because you had a request on that from one of your in-order decisions up there.
For the westbound traffic coming
Coming in, heading towards Charles
into
City.
Charles City. Oh,
But I could put one the other direction, going away from Charles City, if that's what you'd
I think
like.
that's the one I meant. Originally was the one going away from Charles City. But into Charles City probably isn't bad either. I don't know. You got him. Because the one that was brought up to me that's going towards Underwood was the person who said,
Eastbound, you mean? Eastbound?
Eastbound,
yes, going eastbound is the one that was brought up to me. Just because it's a bad corner anyway.
So that's quite an uphill grade there. I don't,
is the one my understanding, talking to you, was that was for westbound traffic on that road, but maybe I misunderstood. That's where the
I
sign
meant
is.
eastbound, sorry about that. Yeah, I meant eastbound.
But we can put one westbound. If that's what you guys
Is there,
decide.
because of the hill, you think it's,
Well, if they're going east, they're not gonna be braking very much because the hill is gonna be south.
You wouldn't think so.
take a look at it.
I can take a look at it. I'm leaving these up to you guys, so you want to direct
We
me
can
to
take a
one?
look at it too. Out there too.
I'll leave it off my list for that one, but I'll get to Niles Corner, T26 North Reading, T38. I'll get those three, and I'll get 6 signs coming.
Okay.
It'll take us probably a month to get them ordered in and get them installed.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Update on the speed limits, on 195th Street west of Gilbert. I just got my report done this morning. I sent it to you guys via email. If that's something you guys would like to continue to pursue, I can have a resolution drafted and put on the agenda for the 28th of October. I
We
did
had a
find,
request for that.
we had a
Only the
request.
one that I'm,
What's that?
only the one that I'm aware of.
Only one request? I mean, I did find that, in my report, I did find that it could be warranted. Because of the conditions out there. I mean, you're
Sure.
35 mile per hour, that first stretch, which is the joint jurisdiction stretch. And then right now it goes up to 45 mile an hour. Traffic has increased in the last 20 years. Access points, residences have increased out there, which means more pedestrian traffic. It's now a dead end road. When the speed limits were established decades ago, I don't even know when they were established or if they were established. The avenue wasn't there, so it was a through street. Now it's a dead end road. So it just logically makes sense that it would be a 35 mile per hour through the entire
I
stretch.
agree with that.
I think so too.
So, and I've detailed all that in my report.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will draft a resolution and get that on the board's agenda for the 28th.
28th, perfect.
And lastly, one of the last things, I wanted to review with you guys our snow removal policy.
Or what?
Our snow removal policy, it's getting kind of towards that year and time of year.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start getting ready for snow removal and we get calls in the office and I wanted to remind you guys of our policy that you guys or the board has enacted for us. I think I've sent you guys an email with the full policy, but I'll just highlight a few things. We implement this in the amount of money that we have budgeted for this service. And clearing the roads at any cost is not our policy. Kind of one of the top things. Each storm has individual characteristics and will be dealt with accordingly. Portion of roadway improved for travel will have on it snow and ice in a compacted condition. We're not going to provide a clean pavement. Sometimes we just can't. The county's existing snow removal equipment and personnel be utilized for snow removal. And it says on here, the entire width of the portion of road improved for travel may not be cleared of snow, ice, compacted snow, ice, or frost. Again, we're not going to provide a clean pavement condition. Also states in our policy, motors shall drive their vehicles during these conditions with additional caution and watchfulness. So we ask the public to slow down, be a little more vigilant. And we do not provide any additional warning signs or regulatory signs of impaired sight distance, visibility restriction, road blockages, one-lane conditions, or that the road surface is slick or slippery, or what advised speed should be. So we don't put any signing out there in the wintertime.
You're reading what's in the existing policy?
I am.
So you
Yes.
said that was, what was said to us, they has, only thing it has like, there's some highlights on clearing around mailboxes. Is that anything that's changed or that's in your current policy?
This is current policy, nothing.
Current, okay, I
nothing's
just
changed.
think there was some little highlights to that.
Okay.
Couple.
Yeah, that's just the way, I'm guessing that might have been changed when this was redone back in 2016.
Could be,
So that's the way that it was scanned in, so.
Okay.
But yeah, moving on, paved routes. The initial effort will be to get all routes open to 2-lane traffic as soon as possible for paved routes. The truck mounted snow plows and spreaders will not normally be in operation between the hours of 5 PM and 5 AM. So we basically run from 5 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. at night. That's our normal plowing operation. If there is a special situation, I've instructed my foreman, they gotta come to me for approval. So that I can document it and let you know what has transpired, why we did not.
They're not going out like 4 o'clock then in the morning. That's just.
Nope. Last year, we had one situation where we had a storm come in later and the roads were, they were slushy. A lot of slush came in. We went out in the evening because we knew the roads would freeze overnight. And if we wouldn't have done that, we would have been caught with an ice. It would have been a mess. I know Butler County got caught on it. We fortunately got out and we made the decision to go out late at night and get things cleared off, and things turned out really well for us that time. So that's one of the rare instances when we'll go a
Now
different
you're
route.
talking hard surface, right,
Yes.
and not the gravel.
Correct. Yep.
And it brings up mine real quickly on that. The use of trucks on gravel a lot of times throws an awful lot of gravel into the ditches as opposed to the maintainers. And I mean, and I know the maintainers are slower than the trucks, and which a lot of people want to get out or, think it should be cleared, but
Yes.
your policy more is to use the maintainers as much as possible.
I'll get to that here shortly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Yep, right now I'm on paved route. There's an unpaved route section, but when I get through paved routes, I'll touch on that.
Okay.
Yeah, paved routes, when required due to drifting snow, motor graders will be used to keep the paved roads open, and opening of the gravel roads may be delayed. It's not the policy of the county to provide a dry pavement condition. After roads have been plowed, as provided in this section, intersections, hills, and curves may have placed on them salt, sand, or other abrasives. But it's only between the hours of 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. in this spot. Unpaved roads. So initial effort will be to get all routes open to one-lane traffic as soon as possible after the storm is passed. Motor graders and or truck plows will not normally be in operation between the hours of 5 p.m., 5 a.m. And gravel roads may not be plowed if wind is causing continual drifting. So yes, we do use truck plows to supplement our graders, try to get the roads open a little quicker. Not a practice I'm particularly fond of, to be honest with you, but that has kind of been our standard practice for years. So I told the guys to try to limit it best we can, but if we need help with the motor graders trying to get the roads open, we're set up to try to get roads open in a day's time. So most of the time, motor graders are what's gonna be on gravels, but there are instances where truck plows will assist. Private drives, the county will not clear snow from private drives or around mailboxes. Normal snow removal operations may result in snow being deposited in private drives. Snow from private drives shall not be placed on the roadway or shoulders. And there is no time limit after the snowstorm in which any of the above operations will take place on paved or unpaved roads. So we don't have a set time frame in our policy that we have to get roads cleared. We do it as quickly as we can within our policy. Limitations. So some things that we will not do. Sanding, salting, or placing other abrasives upon the roadways that are slick, slippery, and dangerous due to the formation of frost. We don't usually go out on frosty mornings because usually frost burns out in just a couple hours. By the time we get out there, it's too late anyway. Sanding, salting, or placing other abrasives upon paved roadways due to freezing precipitation that occurs outside the county's usual working hours. So if it rains, freezing rain, 6 o'clock at night, we probably won't hit it till 5 a.m. the next morning, according to our policy. Sanding, salting, or placing abrasives on any road except for paved roads. Basically, we're not gonna sand a gravel road unless there's an extreme circumstance. Removing of sand, salt, or other abrasives. We're not gonna go remove the sand and salt after we're done. Last section is emergency conditions. The engineer may suspend the level of service of sequence during emergency conditions, which typically will be reported to 911. Any questions on this? Always good to have a little refresher on something like this, especially before snow removal season.
Yeah.
And I will be refreshing this with my men on our safety meeting as well, so they're aware of the policy, the rules. I do it.
Well, it's 10 years old, but it looks like a good policy. It seems like.
I see no issues with it.
Appreciate the update.
Mhm. And then the last thing is my schedule. I do not have anything scheduled here the next 2 weeks that'll take me away for a day. I might, some point in time, I might need to go down and get a pickup from Iowa City. Bought that pickup, but other than that, it should be there. So, all right, any other questions, comments?
You're fine? Nope. Okay, thanks, Adam.
Oh, it's on engineer's report.
Yeah.
What's happened with that Walnut Avenue down by Floyd Line Street?
Oh, that's been opened.
It's been open.
Yep,
Did the
yep.
culvert get replaced or just, yep,
Yep, I think it was just 24-inch culvert. It was a real quick, easy job. We just had to have time, get the locates in, get work scheduled.
gotcha. Good. That was quick.
We like those quick ones. When they're smaller, they're a lot easier.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
You're welcome. Happy day.
Okay. I would like to recess for a few minutes.
Sounds like a good thing.
Okay. Well, I'll meet here in
5 minutes.
whatever it takes.
Did you get my email on withdrawal spelled wrong on the 2080 resolution?
You didn't actually say it was spelled wrong. Your email, that one was very unclear.
You
You
have
said it's spelled and then,
WITHDREAWL. It should be
is
WITHDR.
the printed copy still wrong or is that?
Yeah, it's still spelled wrong. Did anything change from this one to the previous one?
Yeah, another withdrawal. That's why I was really confused as down here.
The one you emailed, this,
The first one that I emailed had it withdrew or something here. And Frank had pointed out that that should be withdrawal as well.
oh, I
So
didn't
when
even
you
catch
said
that.
withdrawal, I didn't know what you were talking about.
That-
Because you also didn't say it was spelled wrong. Your email was kind of like.
Ugh, like 2:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah, maybe. It's gonna die. I'll print a new one of these and go upstairs and see if I have a charger. This one's taking longer than I expected.
It is.
A lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I see you have satellites.
I have 3 satellites. And the people on that community chat are not happy, but whatever. I can't do anything about it. I followed the law. Can't do anything. about it.
Yep, I agree.
I should take my laptop in case it didn't break.
You're just experiencing lots of firsts.
All of them.
And I've never
One
had-
time.
So 1 year,
And not many people have.
you're gonna be a pro.
Linda said she called you, she called me